Hi everyone, it's Tech Dad. Today we are reviewing the Defender 4K. It is a security system with great image quality, but also the product has some shortcomings and I will go through them within this video. 2 or 3 years ago I did a review about the Defender 4K with this black DVR. It's almost the same product. This is the new version I will do today, but the functionalities are about the same. Here you see the original video where I caught some thief stealing something in my house, but it was not different this time. I caught this dude trying to look into my car. I don't know if he wants to break in or not. And you know, it's a little bit small to see, but this is a 4K system. And what is great about that is that you can zoom in and see the face of the person. The main reason to buy the Defender 4K is the image quality per dollar for the value, for the price that you pay to have 4K. And for that, for me to help you, I have a coupon for you of about 19% off. Just go in the description below. But resolution is not everything. Good 1080p or Full HD is better than bad 4K. But this is good 4K. The details are there, the colors are good, and these clips are recorded with default values. I didn't play with the camera settings and I could improve the image quality even further. But the real reason to buy a 4K system is not for the image quality, it's really to be able to crop in the image, to zoom in. So you have 4 times the resolution of a Full HD system, 1080p, so you can crop in 4 times and you won't lose much of the resolution. It will be about the same as a Full HD camera. And if you don't only want to see the action, but you want to identify somebody, for example, you really need a 4K system to be able to have that crop in, to be able to have the details of the face. But you have to know that the Defender 4K doesn't record 4K at 60 FPS or even 30 or 24 FPS. This is not a cinematic camera. So when the user is watching live the footage, it is at 8 FPS in 4K. And when the footage is being recorded or exported, it is at 12 FPS. It is possible to have better frame rate, however, you will need to lower the resolution. Why is this important? It's because of motion blur. With low frame rate, you will have motion blur. You don't have enough frames per second to have a clear image when something is moving fast. So you are losing the details, and that's important to know. For this updated review, we are in 2021. This is a new product and it's missing some features, I have to be honest. It doesn't have a LED light on the cameras. And this is also necessary to have color night vision. And this is something you will find on many products nowadays, like this Reolink Argus 3 camera. Now let's take the time to look into the box to see everything that is included with this system from Defender. So the first thing that you will notice is all the papers. Boring. So after that you have a very cheap mouse. It's not different than every other brand. The mouse is cheap. DC power adapter for the DVR. So this is the new white DVR instead of the old black. This one is square. It's much better looking. It doesn't look like an old VCR. Now let's look at the back of the device. We have 8 channels on this version that I have received. And 4 cameras were included in the box. There is multiple bundle that you can buy. But the cheapest systems, the ones that have 4 channels, have a big limitation, unfortunately. The 4 channel systems record in 4K resolution, however it cannot be viewed in 4K directly from the DVR. The footage must be exported to be viewed on a 4K compatible device. The system that have 8 channel or 16 channel don't have that limitation and it can be viewed in 4K directly from the DVR. I really don't understand why we have this limitation, but it's there, so be careful when you choose your model. Let's return to the back of the device. So you have the video output, HDMI and the old VGA. We have also audio in and audio out, and yeah, you only have 1 channel, unfortunately. The microphone you need to provide, and the cameras themselves don't have any audio at all. To access the footage from a smartphone, you will need to connect the DVR with the Ethernet cable to the router. Also, you can plug the mouse here on the USB port, and you have another USB port to connect a USB drive to be able to export the footage. Now let's talk about the cameras. They didn't change anything about them since my last video. It comes with the drill template and also some hardware to be able to mount it using these 3 holes. The cameras are very simple, great image quality with that sensor. However, like I said earlier, you don't have any microphone, speakers, no siren, no LED lights, so it's only a camera. This is an analog camera. This is maybe an older technology. However, it works very well. Everything is passed through this cable, the power, and also the video using the coaxial connection, I will say. And I think this is a reset button. I'm not even sure, but it's not something that you use like to connect the cameras. By adjusting these 2 little screws, you are able to mount this camera in about all direction. You can tilt it, angle it, you can mount it about everywhere. That's not all, you get a lot of accessories in the box. So included are DC adapters for the cameras, a short Ethernet cable, HDMI cable, and finally these 60 feet camera cables which provide power and video. So you get 4 of them, 60 feet each. If it's not enough, you can buy extender from Defender. So the connection process is very easy. You have to plug a DC adapter into the cable. The other end will power the camera, so you plug that. After that, you connect the video cable to the camera. And finally, to the DVR. So the toughest part is really to route your cables throughout your house. Like every security system in 2021, you can access the footage using a smartphone. This is the easiest way to see your footage and to see the videos when you have an alert, for example. From my experience, the app works pretty well. I didn't have any problem. The notifications were fast. Everything is fluid. I was able to look at the video, to zoom in. The menu is a bit confusing, but it works. The only thing, it is very limited. You do not have access to all the settings that you need. You need to go through the DVR to modify about anything on this system. So this is the DVR menu. It's a little bit from the 90s or early 20s, but it works. Everything is working fine. It's a little bit old school, like I said, but it works. So you can view your footage, you can export your footage to a USB drive. This is the way that I did to make this video. What is a little bit confusing is the fact that there is many advanced functions on the DVR menu that you don't have access to, that are not supported by the cameras themselves or by this system. So you see them, but you cannot use those functions. And I think that Defender should clean up a little bit the menu. The most important functions are these tracking volume or tracking zone, I will say. So you can track full screen or only part of the screen, so you don't get too much notifications. For example, here I need not to track the street because then I always get notifications. You can also block some zone. Normally you can do that using a smartphone, but here you have to go through the DVR to do it. The Defender 4K may lack in functionalities, but it has great image quality. This is the most important aspect of any camera system, and the 4K is great. So buy it at a good price using the coupon below, for example. See you next time. It was TechDad. Ciao.